telling me it's preparing the live stream and setting up the meeting for the YouTube live. And once we get there, then I will come back and press record. Great.
Thank you.
Lovely. Good. Wonderful. So if you bear with me 1 minute, welcome, beloved hearts. I am just going to be putting on the recorder on my side. Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Great. Lovely. So I ask you to all just mute yourself. I seem to be hearing some noise. So please just, if you can all ensure that you are muted, it would be most appreciated. All right, good. So I think that we are ready to start. Good. Let me go back to that view for a minute. Okay. Great. So welcome, beloved hearts. This is Anne-Rita Melchizedek, and I'd like to welcome you to this beautiful Galactic Activations quantum healing modality. And this is just such a beautiful system of energy that has been co-created with all the many illumined beings of light that I connect with. And in this instance, primarily the star councils. And it's the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, and Nocturians, all of the light. And these are absolutely just beautiful star beings that many of you will be familiar with, because we start our journey as these beautiful star-seeded light beings with the memory of coming through from the Pleiades or the Sirius or Andromeda, Arcturus, even places like Venus, even places like Lyra. Those are really very common, one could say, star homes for many of us. Although we really do incarnate on many different star systems. So it's usually we can have a deeper sense of a connection to one particular star-seeded council, but that is perhaps because we spent a little bit more time on those particular stars or planets. But often we are travelers, and we travel from different planets and we travel from different stars. And then, of course, we just encoded with those light codes that activate in each now moment to expand our consciousness, to elevate our light, and of course, to take us through this ascension process. And so what's so lovely about these galactic activations is they are experienced through these galactic sacred geometry light encoded templates that have intentional quantum energy wave spectrum frequencies of photonic light and diamond crystalline plasma light in geometric form. And the primary geometry that is experienced in each one of these beautiful geometric templates is that of the flower of life, holding many of the secrets of the universe. And when we move through this journey, where we move from the 3D, the 4D, 5D, and 6D, although there are, of course, many dimensions beyond that, and for the fully ascended being, we're usually traversing up to 12 dimensions, but there's a lot more beyond that. But to experience ourselves as our higher selves upon this sacred earth, to move from dimension to dimension, though all occurs from a multidimensional perspective simultaneously, what we're doing is that we're experiencing dimensional shifts that activate frequencies that then are activated from within that we call light codes or templates, or really just, one could say, simply geometric sound color frequencies that assist us to build our light body, which is our soul body, and also simply to become the I am avatar race that we are, to become the ascended beings, and that ultimately is experienced through the overlighting of our beloved I am presence, of our ability to merge with and experience the highest light that we are, which is our God selves. And we do that through merging with our galactic aspects. We do that through merging with our angelic aspects. And then, of course, all those ascended aspects of ourselves, as well as all the aspects that have experienced the lower timelines or the karmic timelines, in order for us to rewrite, reprogram, and ultimately, in some instances, to just simply collapse and dissolve the old timelines as we create in each now moment, as we ascend in each now moment. So these galactic sacred geometry light encoded templates then ignite a spiraling spherical geometric photonic and diamond plasma light infusions of crystalline consciousness, and they ignite and activate into our golden heart, which is our heart and thymus chakras, and then also through and into the pineal gland, and then from there into different body parts, organs, into the blood, into the bones, and then create changes at a chemical level too, because the ascension process for us is very much a physiological process. We move through the spiritual ascension, and then we move through the physical ascension. And so the spiritual ascension is what most of us are experiencing at this time, where we are expanding in our consciousness, and we're shifting from 4D, 5D, and then we're moving up again, and then we're coming down, because we can't hold our consciousness long enough to actually energetically expand through those plasma portals or tunnels into those dimensional fields of consciousness, because we match them, but we got to hold the consciousness there to actually experience those realities, because we create our realities from within. So we're all familiar with what 3D is. 3D is the unconscious. We just have to look around us to see how it's played out in the me playground. And of course, all the karmic timelines, all that, every level of abuse, misuse of power, separation, and so much more. We see that through the 3D lens. And then as we deepen then into the experience of choosing to work on ourselves, choosing to initially what we call heal, clear, release, transcend that density, we shift then into the fourth dimension where everything is still outside of us. Essentially, we are here to embody our soul light, our higher selves, and to become that higher light. That's our path as the light workers, as the star-seeded ones upon this sacred earth, in our ability to assist in lifting the consciousness for all life, and to actually shift the frequency of the sacred earth. We do it ourselves through our own frequency and vibration first. And so we take on many of those lessons to not only clear our own karmic records, but to do that for humanity, but also to experience the full range of human emotion. And we stay in that fourth dimensional realm often for a very, very long time, where we kind of feel like, is this ever going to end? That's when we experience a huge amount of those ascension symptoms. That's when our higher selves that were out there, everything is 5D and beyond, starts now to draw to us a deepening sense of embodiment, giving us those moments of alignment, and then it's misalignment, alignment, misalignment. These are the heaven and hell frequencies. We've got the lower voice still, and then we've got the higher self voice saying all those beautiful things to us as we're clearing those programs, those old stories, the victim persecutor consciousness, all the trauma that we experienced along the 3D timelines. And then through our effort, through our ability to trust and surrender to our just amazing higher light and our soul and beloved I am presence, what occurs is then we start to embody, and we embody our higher light through what we experience as photonic light. So photonic light, it's like this, it's like a white diamond infusion that comes through the crown, and it comes down the spine, and it moves into every part of the body. That's the first level of the light body, and that's the experience where we move from the star seed then into the soul seed. And we experience there primarily then a deepening sense of self-love and self-nurturing and slowing down. That's what photonic light does to us. It slows us down and it takes us into 0 point. But also what it does is it brings up for us all that is still misaligned, because we're embodying the purity and innocence of ourselves, our God selves. And that purity and divinity can't coexist with a lot of the density. The density is, of course, all the false beliefs, the judgments, all the old energies that have held on and that have been experienced in some form of holding pattern or trauma within the body. So that has to be cleared. And this is where these templates are so beautifully experienced for us, because some will take us into deeper levels of clearing. Some will take us through working with healing core groups that we work with on the inner planes. We've got a beautiful template that takes us to working with the inner plane healing masters. Others are experienced through light healing infusion chambers. Yet others still are working with the acupuncture meridian lines along the body. And we also have an acupuncture healing team that works with us. And then we're moving more into the rebalancing of our masculine and feminine energy. We're starting to experience the kundalini igniting and activating. We're experiencing that self-love. We've got a self-love, beautiful galactic geometric template, because we're moving then deepening into just loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves, putting ourselves first, and also slowing down. From a multidimensional perspective, all that we experience is very different to 3D, 4D realities. We slow down, we nurture, we get out on Gaia, because there's a deep connection not only into the heartbeat of Gaia that creates that first level of the divine mother nurturing energy, but it's also rhythm and pulse to which we center through our own work and which we live our lives, which is really a balance, a flow, a grace and ease. And when there isn't, it's to see what we can do to experience that, or to actually shift the way that we are experiencing our life or the way that we are working. And that's why these tools are so powerful. And the next level then, what occurs as we deepen into then the divine feminine first, which is the fifth dimensional aspects, the opening of our loving hearts. We then experience the pineal gland activations, which is what takes us beyond the veils of illusion. And then we're moving more sixth dimensionally, which is the divine masculine. So we could say the fifth dimension is our being, the sixth dimension is our doing. We're now merging and integrating that. And then we're moving through the different light body stages. From the photonic light body, now we're moving into the plasma light body. And the plasma light body comes through working into, connects into the spinal column, into the bones. You'll feel a lot of it through the teeth, through the bones, through even every part of the muscles. It moves into that plasma light frequency, but primarily it's working through the spinal column. And also that cerebrospinal fluid is also placing pressure upon the pineal gland, and we get these deepening pineal gland activations as the third eye becomes the primary eye of sight. And so through that, we're now starting to experience a lot more of these galactic realities. We are deepening not only into the timelines of self-mastery, of merging with all of these galactic aspects of ourselves, our Pleiadian, Sirian, Andromedan, Arcturian, but we also remembering the timelines of self-mastery that we experienced in Atlantis, Lemuria, ancient Egypt. And we have these beautiful templates that take us into that too. And then the next level also that we experience then as we move from the carbon-based density of the cells to the silica, which is brought on by the plasma light, into the crystalline consciousness of Christ light, which is what we become. We move then from the star seed, soul seed to the galactic aspects, and from there to source light. And these templates support us on every level of that journey. So we recently did a beautiful masterclass, which, you know, some of you joined us. It was really wonderful. We went through all 48 of these galactic activations, working with these sacred geometric templates. And it was so powerful. We had just so many beautiful testimonials that some said this, although they've experienced a lot of work, this was, the first time in a very long time they went so deep, or they experienced so many things occurring multidimensionally, or they just thought it was absolutely just really beautiful and amazing.
Do you want to hear this?
No, I can't. This is important what I'm doing.
And with that, we then were able to experience a deepening sense of really just creating our new earth realities, and what that really means for each one of us, because this is not only an individual journey, but this is a collective journey for all of us. We are really experiencing the new earth realities, which is unity consciousness, which is stepping up, which is caring, which is loving, which is really honoring each other in so many different ways. And this essentially is what we're doing here. We're coming together in order to expand our light. And we do this not only through the collective, we could call it the collective beloved I am presence that extends through and into the unity grid, but we also do that through simply becoming our higher selves upon the sacred earth. And that is essentially what we're here to do. So I'm going to take us through some of these beautiful galactic activations, and let me see if I can pick it up on the PowerPoint, because I'd like to show you some of what we are doing here, and then take us through just some of these. You can give a sense, you can give your own perspectives on what you're experiencing and what you're feeling. And also what we're going to be doing, we're working with these absolutely beautiful Andara crystals. And the one that we're working with today are these photonic plasma diamond light frequencies. And that diamond light that also spirals through is at really the highest level of our purity and innocence that spirals from the cosmic heart of Mother, Father, God. And these are absolutely just really beautiful. They've got all the light bubbles. We call these photonic air bubbles that actually also expand our bodies. The photonic air bubbles and photonic light frequencies, plasma light frequencies, they're all also connected to these beautiful Andaras. So the Andaras speak on so many different levels. So they expressed how they're working, and then I just assist in encoding them with the galactic teams that are coming forth. But essentially they hold those frequencies already. So that's what we're doing, is that we're working with all these beautiful Andara frequencies, all these beautiful galactic beings, all these beautiful aspects of our higher selves, primarily our beloved I am presence. So I'm trying to have a sense of where I can pick this up. For some reason, it doesn't want to pick this up. I'm not sure why. Let me try that once more. Are there any questions that we may have at the moment? And if I can just remind everyone to please remember to mute yourself. So let me just have a look. I don't know why it's not picking us up. Let me try once more. Let me have a look. There we are. Yes. There we go. I've got it. Great. Yay. So there we are. So these are the galactic activations that we have created, these 48 powerful galactic activations through the overlighting of the star councils and through our own beloved I am presence. So just before we start, I want to express to you that really that the photonic light that infuses with us brings forth our soul light, which is essentially our soul body. We become, our light body is our soul body. We become the walking souls. And without photonic light, as we experience ourselves more multidimensionally, photonic light is the lack of light within our bodies is what causes the dis-ease and discomfort. And from a multidimensional perspective, when our body's full with photonic light and these photonic air bubbles, it is essentially our soul light. And that is what we become in our higher as our higher self. We are essentially infusions of photonic, plasma, crystalline Christ light, and we're experiencing our universe in cosmic oscillating frequencies of sacred geometry, sound, color, and quantum consciousness. And plasma permeates our entire solar system as well as this multiverse. So when we shift into embodying these higher energetic frequencies through alignment to the divine, which we also call our universe, our physical bodies transform in this process of rejuvenation and regeneration, which is what I'm speaking to you about, where it's a very real process or our chemical process that occurs for all of us. The spiritual ascension is what we're experiencing for the most part. But there are those that have then experienced the physical ascension, which is really with the immortal codes coming online, where we transform the cells from the carbon-based cellular frequencies into the less dense compound of silica, and from here then into the crystalline consciousness. And this occurs through changing the number of electrons that are bonded at that atomic and subatomic level. And with this, then we start to expand into the crystalline diamond plasma light bodies. In fact, there are different levels of light body. The first level that we move through is the crystalline light body. And that crystalline light body is also an infusion of the rainbow light body. We're experiencing at that time the photonic light activating through the heart, the pineal gland, pineal gland activation at that first level of the crystalline light body is a very big one. And also that's then the embodiment of the soul. It's the first level of our innocence. So the photonic light is slowing us down, taking us into 0 point, where we offered the opportunity to continuously keep the heart open, to love more, not less, no matter what is coming up, no matter what those challenges are for us. So that's that first level of we slowing down and we just being, regardless of whether, you know, I would say our ego aspects want to still sort of spiral around and do its thing. We really start to find that way to connect deeper to our universe, to start listening to our universe, to deepen into that trust, that surrender, that guidance. And sometimes in that first level, it may just be in messages from our universe. It may just be a song we hear. It may just be an email someone sends or a message or a link, and we just get a sense of what that is for us. For me, numerology comes up quite a lot. It's like numbers that I get a sense of numbers. I say, okay, today is at 22 frequency, or 33 or 44, depending on what the numbers are that I see early from the morning. And it usually works like that. So it's a very beautiful one when we start to listen, when we really just attune ourselves to our beloved I am presence, to the beautiful, glorious, magnificent light that we are in every single way. And how we do this is not only through our meditation, but again, getting out into nature to connect to Gaia, but also really looking at, what we're listening to, where we're putting our focus, where we putting our energy, and how we're assisting and helping others, because essentially we step up and we serve and we care and we share. And that is what it is. It's really not so complicated, but our ego cells will never surrender. So what we've got there in that initial stage of the innocence embodying, it's like the innocence, I say, is like that magical child when it first embodies. So in a way, we need to teach it everything again, because I know for me, when I experienced that initial embodiment, I didn't really have a memory of much that came before. And there are many reasons for that. And one is because a lot of those timelines have collapsed. A lot of what we experience prior to each now moment, as we continuously ascend, we can recall that as we need to, but often it's not really there. And that photonic light also can make us feel very dreamy. It can make us feel quite tired. It really does slow us down and can feel, really initially quite uncomfortable. I know for me that when I was feeling this, I didn't really how my body was feeling, the discomfort in my body, but also not really understanding how the photonic light infusions worked was definitely, it took a while to move into that process, into that trust, into that surrender. I know for me initially, even when the soul is embodying, there's still a lot of the ego aspects that we're working with. That's where we're moving 4D and 5D. And it can be very, very uncomfortable. You know, we often just call that well, it's a heaven and hell archetypes, but really sometimes we just go very deep into those hell frequencies for a while, because I mean 3D is hell itself. You know, it really is the prison matrix, and as we're stepping out of it, we step into it again, we step out of it and we step into it until we can hold ourselves long enough out of it that we don't go back. And then we move through that into the ability to hold our consciousness, but now we're starting to, the photonic light is creating the changes at a cellular level where the living light from within starts to program the DNA. Everything that we do is programmed through the living light of the DNA. And with that, then from the crystalline consciousness, we move into the plasma light body. The crystalline consciousness is very much the sun gazing, being out into the sun. A lot of pineal gland activations, the plasma light, then we're starting to experience the crystals not only through the pineal gland, but also the crystals are starting to be experienced in different parts of the body. We actually get minute crystals under the skin because we become crystal ourselves, we become crystalline. And the body then starts to emit the plasma, and plasma itself is less susceptible to lower vibrational emotions. And we also don't feel that when our body fills with photonic and plasma light. The plasma light I find is more, we don't like the sun so very much. Often we can take it a little bit, but we sort of more moonlight now. And, you know, when we're heating up, that's mostly crystalline. The plasmas are cooling down, but we're going atomic. We are expanding, you know, every subatomic particle spinning in this increased light. So it's a heating. We experience a lot of heat initially in the body, and then we experience a cooling and a heating and a cooling. And then with that, we experience in the elevated consciousness, and then we come down to the clearing again. And when we move into the clearing, that can be very uncomfortable, that stage. And that's then when we pull out all our tools and see what it is that we can assist us. So there are many different ways that we actually work in this ascension, descension, and soul embodiment process. But the galactic activations are one tool that assists us to create this cosmic map of quantum consciousness, to which we can hold ourselves in alignment in each now moments, because each now moment is each now moment we have different perspectives, we have higher levels of truth. So each now moment then we may have a different perspective or understanding to what we had before. So it's an organic timeline where things constantly shift and change, and including what we believed one moment and the next we believe something else. So we're just honoring of that, because really what we're experiencing is the deepening of our impurity and innocence and divinity as the light of God we are, and expanding with this then into our light body and becoming our light body. And so these galactic activations really assist us to restore this divine Christed blueprint, to receive this influx of the Christed photonic and plasma light as we release this, the old density, as we transcend, as we expand beyond, as we let go. As humans, we're always holding on, and as multidimensional beings, we're letting go. And we then move from that starseed stage to the soul seed, as I expressed, and then from there we move into what we call the galactic stage, where we become once more the galactic aspects of ourselves. And those galactic aspects that are merging and becoming the higher selves here of our Syrian higher self, which is primarily the first higher self that we embody. And then the Pleiadian is a more gentle, softer frequency. The Syrian is sort of more power, compassion, clear boundaries, clear communication. And then, of course, we're merging with so many other aspects of ourselves. And with that, then we start to rewrite the universal Akasha from this moment. So I'm not going to go so much into the councils. I have expressed that the 4 councils that we're working with are the Syrian High Council, and the Pleiadian High Council, the Arcturian High Council, and the Andromedan High Council. And I have known these beautiful core groups and light beings for many, many years, probably at least 25 years plus, that I've been working with them. And the first core groups that I connected with were the Pleiadian emissaries of the light. And it was just such a beautiful soul connection, a remembrance of being a Pleiadian emissary of the light. And at that now moment, I remember it was activated through reading the late Amora Quanyan's workbook, her first workbook, the Pleiadian workbook, and just such a sweet reunion of hearts. And actually, funny enough, I connect with Amora sometimes on the inner planes because she, like me, loved her crystals, apart from that deepening connection that we also have with our beautiful Pleiadian light tribe. So they are just absolutely beautiful, incredible, healing beings, and work on so many different levels with us too. A lot of body work, just really gentle, sweet, loving frequency that we receive from the Pleiadian High Council. And they also have an etheric library, which also holds, we call it the Starseed Earth Records. And this is also really a lovely place that sometimes we just go and have a look at what those Starseed Earth Records are, or deepening levels too with that of our mission, which aligns into our original divine blueprinting. And the Syrian or the other from the Pleiadians introduced me to the Syrian Archangelic League, and they are just absolutely beautiful, incredible beings. They work a lot with sacred geometry as well. And as I expressed, the Syrian higher self is usually the first higher self that we embody, because when we deepen into the activation of what we call the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom, it's a power aspect. It's the last aspect of that. Actually, the love, funny enough, is continuous, but we're opening the heart and we're experiencing the wisdom of the higher mind. We're moving beyond the veils of illusion, and then we're deepening into the power aspect, which is not only clear boundaries, but it's actually the ability to use that power energetically in different levels of manifestation. That's essentially what that power is. It's manifestation, it's abundance, it's clear communication, it's expression, it's the ability to perceive, to see, to view, to know on so many different levels in that embodiment of higher consciousness or quantum consciousness, which is really what we do. And they really do also, well, us as our Syrian higher selves really have experienced not only these geometries, because everything in the higher dimensions is sacred geometry, is sound, is color. The inner ear frequencies are starting to activate a lot more. You're hearing particularly the gamma hertz frequencies, that's between 40 to 100 hertz, but then we experience a multitude of different frequencies depending if there's solar flares or if they are the plasma light frequencies activating. The physical eyes are also becoming vortices, and we're experiencing a lot of blinking. We're picking up sort of the plasma light codes from within and from around. And a large part of this, then we experience a remembrance of different timelines of self-mastery. And with the Syrian consciousness, it often takes us back into its ancient Egypt, its Lemuria. It could even be, Atlantis. It could be for some Lemurian, but it's primarily ancient Egypt and Atlantean that we often experience this sense of either self-mastery or clearing the timelines from the fall of grace. So they also work with many of us on the inner planes, and they also work a lot with our ascended masters that we have here that are working on the inner planes from Shambhala. So Shambhala and the Great White Lodge are really part of those very familiar, one could say, temples or lodges on the inner plane that we experience in our dream state and now in our awakening states too, as we deepen into that level of self-mastery. Then we have there too, the Arcturian High Council. They're also just really pretty amazing. They have such an incredible scientific understanding of, I would say, quantum physics and space and time and dimensional overlays. And some even say that they created, the time-space warp that we experience through the halls of Amenti, they have also just incredible healing chambers, and often we may find ourselves in their healing pods on the inner planes too. And they also just, they have these incredible holographic healing chambers, and really just take us into just a whole new level of wholeness, wellness, and working with just so many beautiful healing frequencies. And the last council that then comes forward is the Andromedan Council of Light, and they really are focused on quantum expansion. They work a lot with the Photonic consciousness, and also what I noticed in my connection with them, apart from just that expansive frequency that comes through as we deepen into the gateways and the portals, bringing through a lot of the download and pockets of information from the quantum realm, is that they also really assist to in a deepening of that recalibration of the left and right hemispheres of the brain. And so although we're going to move right into this in a minute, I want to just take a moment just to experience this deep connection to each of these beautiful core groups. So just for a moment, we just feel that energy of the Andromedan intergalactic beings of the light coming forward. We just feel this recalibration of the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and we just welcome Andromedan higher selves as they may come forward. And then through that, we then deepen into that connection with our Pleiadian emissary of the light, high council, including our own Pleiadian higher self. And we just simply have a sense of the heart expanding. Just experiencing these infusions of photonic light being taken into 0 point. Just finding ourselves in this beautiful space and place of divine love. The Syrian higher self. What we're going to experience there as they come forward, as we merge with our Syrian higher self and experience the overlighting of the Syrian High Council, is this pineal gland activation. Just the start of that infusion of the sacred geometries, sound and color frequencies that are going to ignite through the third eye and with that into the pineal gland. And Nocturian High Counselors, they step forward. They just map these dimensions for us to experience as we placed in this healing chamber of light. They just give us a sense of how the dimensions overlap, how they are experienced multidimensionally. Our ability to attune to each of these beautiful dimensions as the light of God that we are. And joining us always is the beloved I Am Presence. The highest aspect of our light is experienced through our beloved I Am Presence. It's understood we have 12 higher selves that we embody, and that each of these higher selves have 12 soul ray extensions. We call this our monad, our beloved I Am Presence. So as we surrender to our beloved I Am Presence and God selves, Follow the guidance and intuition of our beloved I Am Presence as we embody these various facets of our higher light, soul rays, higher selves, future selves, multidimensional selves, galactic selves, angelic selves, and more. I'm going to take us right into this transmission and share some of these beautiful galactic activations, and you can either gaze upon the symbols if you like, these galactic sacred geometry light encoded templates, or you can just close your eyes and come back later to have a sense of what each of these beautiful templates are, because you will still experience this regardless. And what we're going to do is we just attune as one heart and one love and one unified field of light. Just going to deepen into our breath, because that's always that first level of consciousness that activates for us. Just breathing deep into the body, expanding the lower abdomen as we breathe in, contracting the lower abdomen as we breathe out. Just having a sense of this pillar of light coming in around ourselves. Activating now this fluorescent tube of light, which we call the Antakarana. As it comes down the crown chakra, down the spine, and out the perineum center, and into the earth star chakra, which is approximately 15 to 30 centimeters below the feet. We just continue to breathe through this Antakarana, connecting to all our higher selves of the light, through all dimensions of light. And from here to our beloved I Am Presence. Now we connect into the inner earth sun, to our own beautiful golden sun within our loving hearts, which we also call our Christed light. To the sun, central sun, the great central sun. As we just experience this beautiful golden sun within our loving hearts, expand with each breath we take now into this beautiful golden sun sphere of 54 feet in diameter around us in the next 7 breaths. And what we're going to do from these breaths, just to center and align, release, transcend, and take us into this dimensional field of light and overlighting of our beloved I Am Presence in these beautiful star councils for these galactic activations. Simply attune to our own higher light through this golden sun. So as we visualize this golden sun within the golden heart and thymus chakra, we hold the breath as we breathe in. And then as we release, we see this golden sun start to expand into the different body parts and organs. Breathing in through the nose, holding the breath, breathing out through the nose or mouth. And we just do this breath 7 times. Each time this golden sun expands into that next level of dimensional frequency of quantum consciousness to which we are ascending, embodying, and experiencing as the light of God we are. And on the 7th breath now, this golden sun sphere ignites into the sphere of light, 54 feet in diameter around us. And within this beautiful golden sun brings forth golden flower of life. And this is the primary geometry we use in these galactic activations. And we just have a sense through this of merging all those golden age timelines of self-mastery. For all is embedded within the frequency of the flower of life. Feeling ourselves grounding into the crystal heart of Mother Earth now, and into the unity grid of divine love, and connecting to all the awakening and awakened souls, and the beloved I am presence of every man, woman, and child upon this sacred earth, to all the illumined beings, receiving, transmitting, experiencing ourselves as the sacred flames of divinity, as the light of God we are. In a sacred space, the highest light that we are as our beloved I am presence, feeling this merging, integrating of our beautiful God self as we continuously ascend in each now moment, experiencing now the galactic activation of the beloved I am presence. As we now state, I now request the overlighting of the galactics and my beloved I am presence to amplify the light codes of pure source light from within through this galactic activation, so that each subatomic particle within my beingness vibrates to the patterns of perfection as the light of God. I am, I am, I am. I breathe in love and I breathe out love. I have a sense now of merging into source light, merging with my beloved I am presence as the I am avatar consciousness of light. As this photonic plasma and diamond light moves into every subatomic particle of my beingness, I embrace all aspects of myself that may feel separate, that may feel unloved, unwanted, unappreciated, or unseen, as I continuously affirm, I am, I am. I trust and surrender to my beloved I am. I trust and surrender to life. I am a magnificent, precious, illuminating, sacred transfiguring flame of divine love, experiencing the full integration of my beloved I am presence. As each cell in my body is immortalized in this crystalline frequency of divine light, I experience myself within the heart of Mother, Father, God. I experience myself as one with all life. Each cell within my body vibrates to God consciousness and to divine love. Each template of divine love expands to the next level of the soul's blossoming as I love more, not less, as I deepen into my purity, my innocence. I am that I am. I am. I am. I am. Quantum jumping. I now request the overlighting of the galactics and my beloved I am presence to amplify the light codes of multidimensional quantum jumping through this galactic activation, so that each subatomic particle within my beingness spins to the higher dimensional fields of light, where all is soul aligned, where all time folds into and merges into one, and time ceases to exist, where I experience a flow as I collapse, convert, dissolve, and restructure each now moment, where I accomplish at a rate of quantum expansion as I breathe in love and breathe out love. I pause to see what surfaces for me right now, what needs to be released through the density timelines, and all that is misaligned, what I am still holding on to and needing to let go of and let God to flow dimensionally as quantum consciousness in action. I access new earth vibrationally, as I purge and clear and release density, while moving through each dimension, each level of consciousness, each program, beyond the veils of illusion, with the physical body as my temple of light. I am able to release and let go, and to transcend and collapse all timelines. I am able to raise my frequency and vibration and continuously experience all that is highest aligned. As I quantum jump from dimension to dimension. Portal activations. I now request the overlighting of the galactics as my beloved I am presence, to amplify the light codes, the portal activations, through this galactic activation, so that I can expand into the portals and gateways of the higher dimensions. I breathe in love and breathe out love. I have a sense of aligning through all dimensions of light, opening gateways within and creating dimensions within dimensions, infinite versions of reality, the symbolism, sacred geometry, sound and color frequencies. So all aligns with my universe as the light of God. I am, I am, I am. I pause to allow for all the density clearing related to any false beliefs or judgments of not being able to surface and release. As I now breathe in, hold my breath and release all that is ready to be released. I am able to open portals and gateways and dream my realities into creation as a manifesting master being and co-creator. I am all that I am. I am. I am. Zero point. I now request the overlighting of the galactics. And my beloved, I am present to amplify the light codes of 0 point through this galactic activation, so that each subatomic particle within my beingness expands to 0 point, to the heart of all that is, in pure presence, as the light of God I am. I breathe in love and breathe out love. I continually align and activate, integrate, recalibrate, synchronize, and actualize. Living in this now, to the stillness of my loving heart and the wisdom of my higher mind. I pause to allow for the density clearing related to the false beliefs and judgments of not being able to surface and release. As I deepen into this breath, I now breathe in love, I hold my breath, and I release all that is ready to be released. As I take a moment now to feel the love and the stillness of my heart, as I place my hands energetically or physically upon my loving heart, and as I say to myself, I love you, giving my full name now. I love you. I love you. I love you. I am here right now, living new earth. I am all that I am. I am. I am. I am. Divine plan. I now request the overlighting of the galactics. And my beloved, I am present to amplify the light codes of the divine plan through this galactic activation. As I align into my original divine 8-cell blueprint, where all expresses as my higher selves, multidimensional selves, galactic selves, angelic selves, future selves, and more. As I breathe in love and breathe out love. The divine plan reveals as old earth is replaced with new earth. Whilst this is confusing initially, as I align and misalign, as I experience the next level of heart awakenings, along with physical pain and all that leaves through regret, trauma, heartache, sadness, fear, victim persecutor consciousness, and more. I complete the karmic cycles to bring forth new versions of reality. I have earned this right of freedom, sovereignty, and self-mastery, aligning into all that expresses through the light of God I am, in the recognition there is a divine plan, that I have my part as this physical vessel of light, and amplifying my frequency and expanding my consciousness, in sharing my light, my joy, my passion, my authentic self, as I surrender and trust and align on through my universe to the one heart, one love of all that is. Through my devotion, through my commitment, through my beloved I am presence, I deepen into the light, where the old dissolves and love is all there is. I experience myself as pure source light, each moment holding a focus through my vibration, frequency, and light. Ever deeper I go in the reflection of the luminosity and wisdom I hold and transmit. I am the light of God. The light of God I am. I flow into this divine plan, all aligned as I am. I am. I am. The light of God I am. I am. Transformation. I now request the overlighting of the galactics as my beloved I am presence, to amplify the light codes of transformation, so that each subatomic particle within my beingness transforms from carbon base to silica to crystalline Christ light, as I breathe in love and breathe out love. As the subatomic particles spin and increase, light, crystalline, plasma, photonic, and diamond light. I choose my reality as source light. Through my original divine blueprinting, I return to my original innocence as a sacred transfiguring flame of divine love, as this master being of light. In ego consciousness, in victim persecutor consciousness, all are still to blame. For the ego fears, acts, and reacts. As the lower timelines dissolve and collapse, expand beyond, deepening into acceptance, appreciation, observational awareness, and aligning ever deeper into the golden sun within, to the inner earth sun, the sun, central sun, and great central sun. Embracing all through the deepening levels of soul embodiment, this process of transformation and change. I pause to allow for the density clearing related to any false beliefs or judgments surfacing in this now. As I now breathe in love, I hold the breath and I release all that is ready to be released. Light healing infusion. I now request the overlighting of the galactics and my beloved I Am Presence to amplify the light codes of this light healing so that every subatomic particle in my body is able to simply expand beyond the old. As I breathe in love and breathe out love, I find myself placed in this light healing infusion chamber of light. This light healing infusion chamber infuses every subatomic particle within my beingness with the bioenergetic matrix circuitry of the crystalline life seed atoms. This crystalline infusion of light bathes my organs and body parts, sensory system, the central nervous system, the brain chemistry, the biocircuitry, the endocrine system, in this beautiful healing light, assisting in the rejuvenation and regeneration of my physical body. As I increase my energy levels, as I recalibrate my lower bodies, as I experience my light body. I pause to allow for the density clearing related to any false beliefs and judgments surfacing in us now. As I breathe in love, hold the breath, and release all that is ready to be released. Purification rings of fire. I now request the overlighting of the galactics. And my beloved, I am present to amplify the light codes of these purification rings of fire, to allow for this purification on every level, every dimension, and within every subatomic particle of my beingness, as I align through and into the heart of all, as I breathe in love and breathe out love. I now experience these rings upon rings of light coming through and around my lower bodies, removing toxic energies, implants, elementals, pathogens, parasites, whatever needs to be purified in us now. And now I have a sense of directing these purification rings of light through and within and around Mother Earth, assisting in this purification for all life, allowing all life to experience deepening levels of their divinity, their innocence, their renewed balance, peace, equilibrium, love. I pause to allow for this density clearing and see what's surfacing for me, all that is misaligned. Simply allowing all to arise, to just let go, let God, to collapse, to dissolve, to transcend, to expand beyond the old. As the light of God, I am the light of God, the light of God, I am, I am, I am, I am. Inner plane healing masters, And I request the overlighting of the galactics. My beloved, I am present to amplify the light codes of the inner plane healing masters. So I may call forth this beautiful healing team to assist me as I deepen into new levels of wholeness, wellness, healing, and light. As I breathe in love and breathe out love. I request a complete cleansing, clearing, healing, and repairing of the spiritual, etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies. I further request a boost of all essential vitamins or minerals, hormones, or natural compounds within the body that will elevate my consciousness and bring a level of rejuvenation, regeneration, and wellness to every subatomic particle. Through this group of inner plane healers available to me, so I may experience good health on all levels. I am blessed to experience this connection to these core groups of healing teams. As I now breathe in love, to hold the breath and release all that is ready to be released. Or simply remain in the stillness of my loving heart, observing, loving, letting go, whilst expressing this gratitude, this joy, this love. As the light of God, I am the light of God. Ibromosoyakia, Inkaino Koa. Good. Just ground once more into the crystal heart of Mother Earth. Just feeling and sensing all these beautiful galactic activations working through every subatomic particle within our beingness. And just gently come back, fully present. As the light of God we are. Taking a moment once more to simply express that love for yourself. To say to yourself, I love you, giving your full name now. I love you, I love you, I love you. Good. So as you're coming back and centering and grounding into the energy of the earth, I'm going to very briefly show you the rest of these templates because there's 48 of them, and I will just give the name, and if you would like and you're feeling up to it, you're welcome to just look at the screen and look at these images to get a sense of the energy. We will very briefly transmit a frequency from each one of these beautiful light encoded galactic activation templates. So I will go through that, and so you can just get a feel and sense of all, because part of not only do we have this beautiful masterclass on these galactic activations, but also we're offering a practitioner training. So I wanted to give you a sense of the templates that you would work with, as many cards and as JPEGs, and what you could also offer to your own beautiful light tribe and soul clients. So we ended here on this one, which was the Inner Plane Healing Masters. And then I'm going to start here. This is the Atlantean higher selves, ancient Egyptian higher selves, Lemurian higher selves, galactic higher selves, Kundalini activation, inner golden sun, ESP gifts, rejuvenation and regeneration, unity consciousness, starseed crystal gene, Merkaba vehicle of light, Akashic records, external alignment, crystalline sun DNA templates, pineal gland activation, inner ear sonic frequencies, mission codes, inner temple of self-love, forgiveness, golden cube manifestation, heart's dreaming and passion, molecular restructuring, acupuncture healing masters, fear removal matrix, chakra alignment, left and right brain recalibration, guard electron, diamond cylinder activation, prana wind clearing, divine feminine rebalancing, divine masculine rebalancing, divine alchemical marriage, Gaia universal heart, unity grid expansion, power, gratitude and appreciation, soul alignment, crystalline light body, plasma light body. And those are the 48 beautiful symbols. There is another one for practitioner training, but we won't share that one today. Good. So, how are you all doing? I know that we often get some lovely comments there. I don't know if we have any comments. We'll just have a look and see how everyone's doing here. Part of wanting to share this, of course, is because they're just such powerful and beautiful galactic activations for all of us. They're going to just expand our consciousness. The more that we are in our light, the more that we are authentic selves, recognize our own divinity, the more we're going to share that with others. The other part to these galactic activations that the Company of Heaven has stepped forward to say is that share it with your own light tribe, share it with your soul clients, because it's a way then that more will experience these quantum consciousness activations. The galactic activations is really essentially the same. So there is a practitioner training coming coming up where you would then be offered all of these 48 galactic activation symbols. There's a masterclass that takes you through every single one of these 48 galactic activations. And then you could offer it. Either you could do it remotely, you could do it on in person, or you could do it online, you know, one-on-one with your clients, or you could do it what we call chi ball attunements, where you wouldn't have to, if you had the galactic activations and wanted to offer it to your soul clients, you could choose between 6 or 12 and do that in person, or you could email them those templates, the 6 or 12 that you've chosen. Or another option is, because there's 48 of them, you could do weekly one chi ball attunement, and every week then you could have a whole lot of people that, you know, are tuning in at a particular time with you, and then you've just made that connection to their higher self, their higher light, and at that particular time then you are tuning all of them, and once they receive that attunement, then the galactic activation light code ignites from within itself. So it's so many different ways that you can work with these very powerful symbols. And this is essentially why I wanted to share that with you, because I want to offer you the opportunity to not only experience this for yourself, and if that's and that's just perfect too. If though you were looking at another way to expand that beautiful light of consciousness that we collectively bring forth and share, this is just one of those ways that we can do that through these beautiful galactic activations. So I'm quite excited about this practitioner training that's coming up, and yeah, I really invite you to consider joining us if you may like to. We've got, you know, some messages here. We've got Glenn saying love and blessings, and he is from Ontario in Canada. Suzanne saying thank you so much for joining us. Adele, she's also from Calgary in Canada. Oh, sorry, rather Calgary in Canada. We've got Anna Maria, she's from the UK, and she said excited, love and blessings. Claudia was saying thank you so much. Suzanne saying blessings of love and gratitude, and Rita, and thank you for explaining everything so thoroughly. And to all interested in learning about this and these particular activations and templates, yes. So Anna Marie, also something coming up. I'll have to come back to you because things are jumping here quite quickly. Let me have some water also. The beautiful Andoras. Yeah, they are gorgeous. I'm sitting here with some lovely ones. This is one of my favorite. I call this the inner Christ light. It's just got these beautiful Christ light frequencies within. And at the moment, I'm also working with this really lovely little orange, red flame. And then these, of course, for the photonic plasma crystalline light ones that we're working with here. It was just really lovely to experience all of that. And I don't know if you can see them. They have like they've got bubbles of light, diamond light inside them. They're just really gorgeous. And for those doing the practitioner training, you wouldn't necessarily need this, but it's just a really lovely one to be able to utilize and to work with. And what I'm going to do while we are all just sitting here, and I'm going to have a look at some more of those comments, but I'm going to give you the link to the Galactic Activations page, just for those of you that may be interested. You want to go and have a look at the page, you certainly would be welcome to, and you know, just get a sense of what has been offered there. All right, so we've got Marian saying thank you so much. It was very expansive. I don't know how I got to there. I want to just sorry to everyone. Oh, let me go back there. We just paste it. There we go. You should be able to receive it there if you want to jump on and have a look there. We're coming back. Carol saying thank you very much. Thank you, beloved and Rita. No words suffice. Just gratitude and blessings. Sally saying, okay, something that we would have to look at another time. Sharing here that all right, so yeah, if there's something that's related, you're welcome to email me if you have some other questions you might like to ask. Carol We really said thank you. Alexandra is saying thank you so much. I'm going to jump up and then come down again because it's moving quite quickly there. Claudia was saying deep gratitude for this growth opportunity. And Immaculata, thank you, sending much love. Mostly everyone is saying just love and blessings. I'm just seeing if there's any questions there. So there's somebody saying that they ordered one of our Indira crystals and they received a beautiful golden one. That they absolutely love it. So Anna Marie, okay, does anyone know how long this activation is going to be? All right, so she's obviously gone. It was about an hour and a half, yes. Jan was saying thank you, very grateful. Just a lot of people saying very grateful. Yeah, the combination. Suzanne is saying I love the combination of the different activations that we did today. All right. Jane says, I feel so activated in love for all. Yes, it's just such a lovely coming together, isn't it? I really feel all your energies, all your beautiful, beloved light tribe. I feel that really just such a beautiful energy of all of us being here in this moment and at this higher light level. It's just really lovely to be connecting this way. Rosa is also saying, I'm very grateful, and Rita, thank you. Beautiful transmission and activation codes. Claudia is saying she got 3 Indira crystals that I selected for her to work with, and she loves it. Aria is saying, thank you very much, beloved Cosmic Divine Mother. Shoko, thank you so much. Says, I really felt my higher self. That's so lovely. All right, great. We've got there, it was very expansive. Adele's saying she loves us all. Thank you. All right, good. So Anna Marie is asking what a monad is. And the monad is basically your I am presence. It's your highest light. Some people call it the monadic aspects of our consciousness. It's really essential, our beloved I am presence. So again, it's just one system of energy that expresses that we have 144 soul ray aspects of ourself. And then there are 12 higher selves, and each have 12 soul rays, and then we're merging and integrating all those higher self aspects. And in some ways we are. I can't say that I know many of those higher self aspects, but I can say there was a stage where I have a whole lot of different voices in my head of different higher self aspects, and everyone has an opinion, which is quite interesting. So you start with, you got the lowest self, and then you got the higher self for a long time. So you've got the lower self, which is our ego self, which is always, doesn't say the nicest things and, judges and blames. And there's a lot of victim persecutor consciousness there. And then we have our higher self, which is, oh, you're just doing so amazing. You're so wonderful. I love you so deeply. And then at some point, what occurs as we start to embody those higher dimensional aspects of ourselves is we have a whole lot of different voices. And then we have actually a whole lot of different soulmates, and some are even embodied here at that higher light level. It's very different here because we have the personality aspects. And it's just really can be quite trippy for a while. And then it all integrates into, because we're the observer, the witnessing presence. And at some point that disappears too. So we just become the one again, one could say. So we're integrating, we're continuously integrating, and we're continuously expanding, and that's a process that's ongoing and continuously clearing, actually, which is another process. So sometimes we've got a lot of energy, sometimes we don't, and also depending on the different light body stages that we're in. For example, the plasma light, the crystalline light body, it slows you down initially into the photonic light. So you can work differently. You can be in that heart space. And then at some point where it's become the dreamy landscape, you learn to create those realities from within that, and to step out and release judgment and blame. And you're just doing a lot of loving, and the pineal is activating to give you higher perspectives of wisdom and truth. And then when you enter into the plasma light body, it's very sleepy though. It's I find for me, it's like just sometimes my body's just wanting to sleep. So it's also to honor when your body's tired, you sleep. When some people meditate, some people sleep, some can do both. When it wants to be out, you let it out. And you go out if your body wants to, or you sleep when you need to, or you eat what you need to. And sometimes Food choices can be a bit strange and weird. I know that I've mentioned that before in the crystalline light body stage, for example. I ate gluten, and I haven't eaten gluten for many years. It's like toast and peanut butter were one of my favorites. It's what it's crisps, a lot of potato chips and salt and vinegar chips. That's activated from the pineal gland. And then sometimes you feel a lot of nausea. So we take a lot of different vitamins and minerals, ginger, garlic. Oh, sorry, not so much garlic, but that's a good one for our immunity. But ginger, turmeric, MSM, DMSO. We have a look at what our body's needing, and we sort of try to flow with that. A lot of super green kind of stuff, a lot of smoothies, and then sometimes it all goes upside down, and there you are with your big pack of salt and vinegar crisps or dark chocolates, depending on what the body's needing. We're just really honoring of that. So this is a process which is very physiological. It's a process where there's a great deal of discomfort within the physical body. And there is just really this process where we're having to flow, no matter how uncomfortable things may be, and simply to trust and surrender, and particularly in those moments when we actually are feeling greatly uncomfortable. It's to be okay with feeling uncomfortable, to be okay with whatever we're feeling, always just coming from that highest aspect of self and observing as we need to. And when we're feeling really out of sorts, we also go for body therapy, massage and do the body work, or we take Shazandra, or we take ashwagandha, or we take composure, which is an M product. In my case, I also make just beautiful Andara essences. So from next year, I'm going to put that out there, and also just some beautiful sprays and other things that I love to create. That's my joy, as being this frequency alchemist and frequency worker. But we all find our joy and our passion, but mostly we end up all being a wellness therapist in some way when we are moving through this ascension process. We don't really have a choice, because we've got to do a lot of the work for ourselves. We don't give our power to another. We don't really go to the doctor. We say, oh, this is wrong and that is wrong, because there's so much that's unexplained for us initially. And we start to work with it and we honor it. And we take the responsibility ourselves for everything that we do. And we don't need another opinion, although sometimes we obviously are all here to support and help each other and offer opinions as and when it is. But we look at the consciousness of the person. Are they in tune? What's the resonance? Do they know what we're talking about, where we are, what we are experiencing? And, we really just do a lot of the work on so many different levels ourselves, that we just step up and, it's a choice. Each moment is a choice. And we have a choice to move back into the old frequencies and energies and addictions, or we have a choice in that moment to step up and to, attune ourselves to the higher dimensional realms and frequencies through our meditations, through our walks, through our practices, through the hertz frequencies that we might listen to, the music, to the vitamins, to the food, to, where our focus is. Each moment is a choice. And we have to, as much as possible, be continuously conscious. That is not only the choice, but that it's really the journey to experience that consciousness 24/7. And so initially we're in the observational awareness as the witnessing presence to perhaps some of the old behaviors that we're releasing and letting go of, until we reach that point where we essentially are able to hold our consciousness and to just simply allow ourselves to experience not only that releasing, that transcending, that expanding, but becoming. That's what we are. We are becoming and being our higher light here as our beloved I am presence. And with that, depending on our frequency, our vibration, our energy, the inner plane landscape changes a lot. We start to telepathically communicate. For those of us that have a more initiatory understanding, we may find ourselves again connecting to the inner plane masters, receiving, I wouldn't say necessarily initiations, but new levels of training. I connect a lot on the inner planes with all sorts of masters and receive all sorts of teachings, which is wonderful, but it's not channeling. Channeling we do in the beginning, and then we move into being the masters ourselves. So it is a different way of being and a different way of expressing and communicating and sharing our light. And again, there's nothing wrong wherever we are. It's all divinely perfect. All is simply a process that we experience to be our higher light here as the light of God that we are. All right, good. So I hope that you all enjoyed that today. It's been so wonderful to connect with you all. And then we have a few last questions. So let's see. Oh, Shaka says, oh, she received her crystal pendant recently. Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. We got some love, gratitude, and blessings all the way from Australia. Love that too. Deborah is also saying she loved Andorra and highly recommends them. Where do they come from? The Andorra crystals come from. So that's also an interesting thing because initially, you see the Andorra have the highest frequency of crystals. They're actually glass crystals of any crystal on the land. And I know that they are multidimensional galactic frequencies, but as to how they got here, I couldn't say exactly, except that there's some interesting things that go on with it. I know that initially they were found in Northern California, I think around the Mount Shasta area on Lady Nellie's land. And of course, you know, that was, I perceived Mount Shasta at some point was a volcanic mountainous region because the Andorra actually formed by volcanic activity. And I know this because not only after a while did I find different suppliers as we do, but I got a lot more into the Indonesian Andorra, which are also incredible and beautiful. And I got some locally, which is also very rare, funny enough, in South Africa. So they are formed through the volcanic frequencies, and there's quite a lot of difference because let's say the authentic Andorra in the States, around that sort of Mount Shasta, Northern California area, it has a lot of monatomic mineral content. So you feel the frequency. So people say that the frequency of the Andorra, at least from what they perceive in Mount Shasta or that around that area, comes from the energy of the land having this high content. Monatomic is atomic. It's helping us go expand every subatomic particle to greater levels of crystalline consciousness as it spins in this increased light frequency. They take us multidimensional by merging our realities into unity consciousness and bringing a focus for us which drops all that is not needed in any given now moment. But for me, what I found is that the Indonesian Andorra speak to me more loudly, although they're softer initially, and then they become louder over time. It's like listening to like a soft musical celestial frequency, and then it amplifies. And it amplifies for many different reasons. One is that the more we play with them, love them, hang out with them, the more that frequency amplifies. But also, you know, it's just really, I feel how those crystals are. And I absolutely love them. They are my children. And I'm coming out also with a whole lot of new ranges. I'm creating all these different macrame little chokers and all sorts of little pendants, along with all the other beautiful stones and pieces we have. So from the new year, there's going to be some beautiful things coming out that I'm quite excited to be sharing with all of you. And yeah, you know, I take them out into the sun a lot. They love the sun. They love to be cleansed in water. I have my different essential oil blends, so I spray them a lot. I play the music. They like the Hertz frequency music. And then they're all over the bed and in all the rooms. And, you know, even you lay your grids out, and just really every part of the house is, and the land is sort of that high frequency energy because it's embedded with Andorra in frequencies and these beautiful stones, and very, very powerful. And the way that I work with them, funny enough, because they're quantum communication, telepathic communication, we just receive information. We can receive information from anyone, anything. Everything that has a frequency, we receive information from as multidimensional beings. They hold already that consciousness of whatever that frequency is that we're going to work with. and then it just amplifies. When I'm holding it, I get, oh, okay, so that's our frequency. So that's a photonic light. Oh, that's the inner Christ. And then I experience myself what it does. But I also then make essences. And the way that I make the essences is I take these beautiful crystals and, and I place them in the distilled water or purified water. And then after that, I have a colloidal silver machine and I put them in that. Because what then happens is that we preserve them. And so they're just exquisite, and then I use them daily, and you really feel that crystalline consciousness activated at a cellular level. You're putting in clusters of geometries and sound and color, but also with my gift to feel, I can feel in the body a deepening level of what I experience telepathically in that communication. So they're just really amazing. I can say that. I liked crystals. I mean, crystals are beautiful, but these can't really compare to what we call crystals. They are just a multidimensional galactic stones, glass stones that hold the highest vibration of all crystals on the planet. And we have experienced them in every golden age. They've surfaced again to assist us to activate those light codes from within. And they really, really, really do that to those souls that are awakened. If you are completely human, you can say they probably do very little for you. That's the truth as well. But if you're awakening, or you're awakened, or you're doing your own work, or you're expanding your consciousness, or you stepping up and sharing and caring and loving and creating and being the change that you are in so many different ways, what you will experience is that it will be amplified. They will take you more multidimensional. They'll take you monotonically, atomically, into the next level of consciousness, dimensions, light, where you create your realities from this now, where you program all from within. So very, very exciting, and just so blessed to say that I have a whole range as my children, and that we're expanding upon that, and they're just really amazing. Yes, so Sally's saying, is this class we're talking about the Galactic Activations Practitioner Training plus the Masterclass? So there is a Masterclass that just prior to the Practitioner Training you do. It's all part of that bundle. So it's all included, where you will then do your 2.5-hour Masterclass, and then the Practitioner Training is this Sunday. So you can join us, or you can, again, everything is recorded if you can't join us live. We will also have 2 meetups. So there will be a couple of months where you will be able to meet up with us to ask any questions that you might have, anything that you're not sure about, particularly if you can't join us live. But that is just another level of support that is offered. So Peter's saying, thank you very much for the activation. I'm just scrolling through there. Yeah. My heart chakra is inflamed with love and gratitude and feelings of warmness along the spine. Great. So, Suzanne saying Hawaii for the Antara. Okay, Morg saying thank you from Norway. Claudia saying thank you too. And Tom, thank you for sharing this. Yes, so the last thing about the Andara, talking of that, is that they are, they are an ethical people that create, well, I don't know how the slag glass was created, but what I understand, it was very big, or is still quite big in the States. We don't have it here. So the slag glass is, I don't know, old glass, and it's in the soil, or somehow, I don't know, but it looks like, some of it looks like Andara glass crystals. And so from my understanding, it's some of those people then took some of the original Andara and then they put it into the slag glass, or maybe they didn't. They didn't even bother that far. But then they said that this is Andara, and they sold the slag glass for a lot. And so then filtering through the authentic Andara, particularly in the States, primarily coming out the States, was the slag glass, and out of China. China was the other big place. If you go onto eBay and you see anything out of China that's selling Andara crystal, they don't have Andara crystal in China. They have it in the States. They have it in Indonesia. I'm understanding in Brazil and Egypt, there's some places that they're now seeing it coming through in the volcanoes there. Yeah, I think we'll see it a lot more. We'll see it in more places. But so it led then that slag glass led that was flooding the market at some point, maybe 5, 10, 20 years ago, when the Andorra first came out on the market. For many people, particularly even those that love crystals, to imagine that all Andorra are slag glass. So when you go onto the internet, the first thing that you will see is, if you put in a keyword Andorra crystal, you will probably get slag glass and 100 gazillion people telling you how they imagine it's slag glass and what it is. But remember, those people are human. Even if they had an authentic Andorra, it probably wouldn't do anything for them, for the most part. You cannot, unless you are shifting into being the light of God on this sacred earth, however you get there, in opening your heart, in expanding your consciousness, in embodying your higher light, in becoming your light body. You're not going to feel anything from them anyway. So you can imagine that you've got a piece of glass in your hand, because that's probably what it is just for you. But they are authentic Andorra, and for those of us, and for many of us, that can feel energy, you will feel it. When you're holding it, you will feel it, and you will experience it. And even if you don't feel an experience, just get it from someone that you know is reputable, that you know that you can get a sense of, yes, if I can definitely feel like that person is really, understanding, has a resonance that I resonate with, and what they're sharing, I'm going to trust them. That's what we do. And you will find really that will create a big difference in your life. It takes some time sometimes, but they are absolutely beautiful to work with. Yes, good. So I think that we are going to end it there. So I'll say she's going to be ordering a crystal soon. And let me see if there are any other messages. Patricia's saying, I'm wearing my Andorra crystal from you today for our gathering. And I love it. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's a Christ one, isn't it? That's the inner Christ as well. That's gorgeous. That's one of these. This has got like a golden light inside here. That's right. That's what you've got on. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And you will find that one it's a blue, green, gold frequency. It's really just going to activate that inner sun, that Christ light, that embodiment of your higher light. It's just so powerful. It's my favorite. Well, I mean, I say it's my favorite one in the moment. I was going to say it's my favorite one, but that wouldn't be true. It's my favorite one today. It's like, it's like really just got everything that as you're going through your own process, you will find that you will be attracted to different Andorra along the line. But they're all just absolutely magnificent and incredible and beautiful and wonderful. So yeah, Hans saying, I have a large diamond Andorra and some others from Enrita. Yes, and you also have the same one. You also have a Christ light one. I sent that to you as well more recently. But that is also what you've got, and that beautiful diamond white light purity, magnificent, I don't know, 3 kilo, 2.5, 3 kilo thing piece is just absolutely exquisite. It just radiates out for some I was going to say miles, but maybe not, maybe quite a few feet, but energetically, yeah, it radiates and expresses just so beautifully that purity and innocence and diamond light. They just really are absolutely exquisite in their own way. Just amazing, amazing. Yes. Good. All right. Suzanne saying, thank you so much. Claudia embracing the joy shared in this now about the Andorra. Yes, they're just exquisite. I just can't get enough. I mean, really, that's my joy. That's what I play with every day. So, and I have also these crystal balls, and I'm teaching myself how to. I guess you can't really teach yourself crystal balls, but you play them and you get a sense, you hear, what are those frequencies, what are those sounds, how, and then Dara all in the garden, and I'm there with the crystal balls, and all the cats are there with the 7 cats, and we've got all the garden birds that we feed, and all the pigeons, and they're all hanging about, and everyone's just really enjoying the kind of the sound of the crystal balls and the energy of the Andara out there. And we have a duck and its partner, and I think he comes from a few houses down. There's a little I guess like just a little stream. It's not really much, but he flies on the rooftops and he stops there in the house next to us on their roof. And when I'm playing, and he sits and he quacks, and he really just enjoys the crystal balls and the Andara too. So it's lovely. It's really nice that we create ourselves whatever level of play we want. That's frequency activating, not only for ourselves but others. It's beautiful to be able to do that. All right, good. So I think we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope we see some more of you on our beautiful practitioner training. And thank you so much for just sharing your light. And so I'm really grateful for all of you for stepping up, for sharing, for caring, for just being the amazing, blessed light tribe that you are, that we are. So I love you all so very, very much. And so from my heart and to yours, and to the cosmic hearts of all creation, blessings in love. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.